Hello, Mrs. Mitchell's group. Just 3 maths lessons left of the summer term. Today we're going to have a look at equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are where you have 2 different fractions that are worth the same amount. They are equal. So when looking at a fraction, the top number is the numerator. That's how many parts we are using. And the bottom number in a fraction is called the denominator, and that's how many equal parts there are. So, this bar model has been split into 4 parts, but they're not equal parts, so we need to get rid of this one. But this one has been split into 4 equal parts, so that's fine. If you want 1/4 of a fraction, you could have this one, or this one, or this one, or this one. It doesn't matter, as long as you're consistent and you stick to the same. So, when comparing fractions, we must be consistent when colouring in sections. Let's colour at the left today. We need to find a fraction that's equal to 1/4. If I shade in 2/8, does that look like it's the same as 1/4? Not really, because the bars haven't been drawn the same size. So when you're comparing fractions, you've got to draw your bars the same size. This is better. So if I pull a 1/4 down and look at 2/8, if I colour in 2/8, I can see it's exactly the same amount as the fraction 1/4. So 1/4 and 2/8 are equivalent fractions. One quarter is equivalent to 2/8. Is 6/9 equivalent to 2/3? What do you think? Should we find out? So here I have got 6/9. I've got 9 sections and 6 have been coloured in. If I want to compare that to 2/3, I need a bar that's the same size as that, and I need to colour in 2 of the parts. 2 out of 3 parts have been coloured in. So is 6/9 equivalent to 2/3? Yes, it is, because it's exactly the same amount that's been coloured in, and we can compare them by putting 1 really close to the one above it. Do you agree with Ron and Whitney? So Ron says 1/2 is equivalent to 2/3 because I have added 1 to both the numerator and the denominator. So he's put 1 add 1 is 2, 2 add 1 is 3. Does that make 1/2 equivalent to 2/3? Whitney says 1/2 is not equivalent to 5/10 because you've added 4 to the numerator but 8 to the denominator. Is she right? So here's 1/2 and here's 2/3. Ron thinks that 1/2 and 2/3 are equal. We've got a bar split into 2 equal pieces. Here's one of them, so this is 1/2. And here the bar has been split into 3 equal pieces, coloured in 2 of them, so that's 2/3. Are they equal? No, they are not equal because it's not the same amount in each one. We don't add numbers to numerators and numbers to denominators to see what's equal. Whitney says that 1/2 is not equivalent to 5/10. This is 1/2, 1 out of 2, and this is 5/10, 5 out of 10. Is 1/2 equivalent to 5/10? Yes. Now what's actually happened to the 1 to get to the 5 is it's been multiplied by a certain number. And what's happened to the 2 to get to the 10 is it's been multiplied by the same number as the numerators. So what number has been multiplied to get to the equivalent fraction. Been multiplied by 5 each time. So when you're finding equivalent fractions, you've got to multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same amount. Which one is the odd one out? 4/9, 6/9 and 4/6. Which one is not equivalent to the other two? Pause the video. I'd like you to have a go at drawing the bars using equal sections. Okay, so this is 4/9. We've got 9 equal pieces and 4 of them are shaded. This is 6/9, 9 equal pieces and 6 are shaded. And this is 4/6, so 6 equal parts and 4 have been shaded. So when we're comparing them, it's better to put them on top of each other. 4/9 is clearly not the same as the other two. So 6/9 and 4/6 are equivalent, but 4/9 is the odd one out. Well done if you've found that. This is a fraction wall. We use it to help us find equivalent fractions. In a minute, I'm going to ask you to write down some equivalent fractions, but I'll explain how it works properly first. So for example, this is 1/2. Any bars that are the same size as this are equivalent to 1/2. So if I follow the fraction wall going down, look, that's here. So I can see that this is equivalent to 1/2. That's a quarter, and that's a quarter. So what fraction is equivalent to 1/2? A quarter add a quarter is 2 quarters. So 1/2 is equivalent to 2 quarters. What else is equivalent to 1/2? Follow the line down again. So 1/2 is the same as 2 quarters. It's also the same as, look, there's a line here. What does this represent? 1/6 add 1/6 add 1/6. So it's 3/6. I can follow it all the way down and find some equivalent fractions. I could look at 1/3 and see what's equivalent to 1/3. So follow it down. Look here, a 6th add a 6th. Follow it down. Look, a few 9ths. Follow it down. Look, a few 12ths. So pause the video and try to write down some equivalent fractions. See you tomorrow for some more maths.